multiple market analysis for trading decisions. Hi, it's Charlie giving you your midweek video here on YouTube. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at a few different currency pairs here and how you can sort of combine them to sort of help with your analysis. And that's what I'm doing all of the time. I'm not saying that it means that you're always going to be right, but certainly from a trade entry perspective, a lot of the time it means that I'm usually getting in around about the right time at that stage, even if the market then fizzles out or whatever. But it's really quite a useful tool. So let's go and have a look here. So I'm recording this on Tuesday. Now, going into this morning, what happened overnight was, as many of you have seen in the general news, that there was a single case of COVID in New Zealand, and as a result, woke up to see the New Zealand dollar having really come down quite substantially, having prior to that just been chopping around sideways. But what that happened, even though it was only a single case, and when you think that in the UK here we have sort of 28,000 cases a day, New Zealand have had their borders closed. They've been very, very strict on lockdowns. They haven't had any single cases for months, and so it was quite a shock for them because they've been so good at quarantining people as they come into the country and whatnot. Anyway, so that as a result sort of created a lot of uncertainty with regards to COVID there, because it sort of proves that it's very almost impossible to stop cases getting through. But never, so that's set the tone for the day, that we've seen the New Zealand dollar roll over, and as a result the market was then looking for tonight or overnight tonight. The Central Bank of New Zealand are setting their policy. They were looking like they were going to raise interest rates by 0.25%, and now looking like, or maybe they're not going to, because they're going to maybe play a wait and see game. That's what how the market's looking at that, and the market's discounted that. Now, it's not to say that the central bank aren't going to still raise rates, but all these things are things that you have to consider. So and that's what the market's considering here by it selling off. Now, what's interesting with the New Zealand dollar here today is that it hasn't actually broken to new lows yet. Just bear that in mind. This is the daily chart. It hasn't broken to new lows yet, but that sort of set the tone. Then we came to, this is first thing this morning. I've been in with the day traders today. Then we came over to the Aussie dollar, and the Aussie dollar was breaking down and challenging its July lows earlier. Obviously, I'm recording this at 4:30 in the afternoon. Now, I'm recording this on Tuesday afternoon. This may not get out until Wednesday morning, but so I don't know how the charts are going to be looking by the time you see this video. So then we've got this weakness that was there on the Aussie dollar as well. Okay, and again, like the New Zealand dollar, prior to today, it was just consolidating sideways, up day, down day, up day, down day. You couldn't really get too much of a gauge until it started to break down and come to these lows today. Then we can come to the pound dollar, and I'll get to my point in a minute. So pound dollar obviously has sold off a fair bit today as well. Very, very similar price action going into the end of play yesterday. Up day, down day, up day, down day, and then started to get a bit more of a breakdown. So by this morning, the pound had already come down to challenge last Friday's reversal highs. Now, again, if you look at the last Friday's reversal, should I say, last Friday's green candle was a really positive day in the markets. We had those really poor consumer sentiment figures come out of the US, and the dollar sold off, and so the currencies against the dollar had an update. But when you see a currency like the pound, like the Aussie there, like the Kiwi, they're eradicating that bullishness that was there from last week. It gives you sort of a sign. Then you come across to the euro dollar. Now, the euro dollar has been selling off here today, but again, the euro only started selling off this afternoon. The euro was holding, but again, it's that doing that multiple market analysis, seeing other currency pairs having already broken down, allowed me to, when I'm sat there with the day traders, to already be prepared for if the euro's going to start to play catch up. Now, we had some news out of the US today where the retail sales came out, and they actually came out worse than expected. Now, you would normally expect the dollar to sell off in a situation like that. The retail sales came out worse. And therefore you would normally expect the euro to go up and the cable and the lights to go up. But they didn't. They actually started to sell off more, in fact, and the euro started to sell off. It hadn't really been doing too much, started to sell off some more, down to 117.50 at the time. And that's a key piece of news. When you've got a new piece of news like that and the dollar's still strengthening on it, it says the market is seeing other stuff going on. The market's looking out towards Jackson Hole. The market's looking out towards the FOMC next in the middle of next month. We've got Jackson Hole at the end of this month, and there's all this talk of obviously Fed tapering. When is that going to start? So you take all of this information into play, and then it can help you with trading decisions. So seeing Kiwi having already broken down, Aussie breaking to new lows today at that stage, cable having reversed last week's last week's up bar on Friday, and the euro still hadn't done that, but it was giving us that heads up of what might happen once we got past that news. And so it's just a video here for you today, just giving you some consideration that I always say, don't be blinkered on if you're trading like dollar pairs. Don't be necessarily blinkered on a single pair. I might still just trade euro dollar, but I'm always looking at, well, what are the other pairs doing against the dollar? What's the dollar index doing? Oh, okay, I did a video, I think last week, talking about this cup and handle pattern on the dollar index. So what are these other pairs all doing? There's lots of information you have to take on board to then help formulate a trading decision sometimes. But it's a case of, don't be blinkered. Whatever the market is that you're looking at trading, do consider those other currencies as well and what they might be doing, because they might actually help you in your decision making, because you can say, well, actually the pound's already rolled over here, the Aussie's already rolled over, the Kiwi's already rolled over, so if the euro starts rolling, then it's got a bit of catch up to do, etc., etc. And that's exactly what happened today. So anyway, a little bit of food for thought there today about using multiple currencies to help you with your trading decisions. As always, if you like our videos, do give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And it's always much appreciated. And I shall see you at the end of the week. Take care for now.